wanna see what's going on. Ride my vibe, baby.
Let me ride the vibe. Listen, ride the vibe. Listen, ride the vibe. Listen.
I wanna see what you've been
What's
on.
up, Game Changers? It's your boy TJ, aka Mr. Game Changer, and I'm back with another episode 105 of the Game Changers Podcast. Welcome, and we here. Glad to be back, man. And I'm gonna get straight into things: the NBA All-Star Weekend and the NBA as a whole. So let's start off with the All-Star Weekend. I know I'm a little late, but it's still important. It's still important for the league. And it's also important for the players to want to help grow their league. And that is one of the reasons All-Star Weekend was ever created, is to help grow the league. Help to have a fun weekend for the fans and for the players to showcase the best players in the world in one weekend. And I know injuries come up. I know it's a hard, long seasons. We talk about back-to-backs, and we're going to get into all that. But the All-Star Weekend was not a success, and it was far from it. Starting with the skills challenge with Chris Paul and Wembanyama throwing up fake shots in order to, get a faster time. That looked crazy. I would say the three-point contest was maybe the bet. I'm not going to do that to Matt McClung because he did great in the dunk contest. But the three-point contest was also good. It definitely could have been better. I mean, as far as the missed shots and like when it comes to these games, you have to perform. When it comes to certain things, you have to perform. The dunk contest, the three-point contest, the skills contest. But also, because I'm going to be going back and forth with who is responsible for all of this. And it's not only the league and the coaches and the administration, it's the players also. But the players aside, it has to be some accountability on the administration and looking at these things and be like, are these things interesting? Or do our players want to be active in these things? And it doesn't seem like it. Like, we don't have our best players doing the dunk contest. I mean, we have our best shooters doing the three-point contest. That's probably the most mesmerizing thing about All-Star Weekend. And that's crazy to say because the All-Star game used to be a game full of top talent, and it is, but top talent playing like close to their best. I know everybody's not going to give 100%, but when you talk about players, like, I could just think back to the All-Star game when it was Kobe, it was AI, it was Shaq, it was Bron, it was all these great players, Melo. Like, those are the All-Star games we look up to and say, hey, how do we replicate this, or how do we get back to this? I think a couple of years ago when Kobe passed away, when they did each quarter, you get to a certain point and whoever wins that quarter, money gets donated to that charity. I like the draft as far as the All-Star game. And I feel like they should have never veered away from this. This tournament where they added the rising stars, I mean, it was okay, but the long breaks, the long commercials didn't make it even better. Even the players are like, yo, we were sitting down for almost 30 minutes in between times. And it's like, how can a player get hot? How can a player really get into the All-Star game, which some of them, it really don't even want to be there in the first place? Okay, administration, let's help our players want to play, because if the players want to play, then it'll trickle down to the fans wanting to watch. Like, for you to have breaks to I get honoring the TNT crew with Shaq, Kenny, Ernie, and Chuck. That was cool, but you had Mr. Beast come out and do that. I thought that was pretty cool, but let's keep the main thing the main thing. Let's go back to the basics. So I have an idea for the All-Star break. So let's do this, okay? Let's start with Friday. We have, what do we do on Friday? The Rising Stars game. Let's do, and I did think about this, but I didn't think, the only thing I forgot about was the Rising Stars. So how about we do this? We take away the skills challenge. I'm trying to think what would be better for the NBA. How could it be more conducive? Okay, so how about we do this? Sunday, allow that to be a doubleheader. So let me start with Friday because I want to kick off this weekend like with a bang. Friday, 101 contest. We're only sticking Friday for the 101 contest. I mean, the celebrity game, you could have that earlier, but then after that, no Rising Stars game. We're going to switch that to Sunday. 101 contest, best 101 players in the world. Kyrie already said he'll do it. Anthony Edwards said he'll do it. Cool. We gonna get that in order. 101, that's gonna be electric Friday night. Hey, people are getting off of work. People want to go out. You have the All-Star games in these big cities. People are gonna come out for a 101 contest, especially if people like Kyrie Irving, Anthony Edwards, shoot, I can see LeBron James getting in that mug. I can see Kevin Durant getting in that. James Harden. Oh, I would love to see James Harden in that one. Like players like that in a 101 and you give them a cash prize, like incentives. I want to hone on that too. Let's have incentives for these players. $500,000, $1 million, $1 million prize for a 101 challenge. Come on, bro. Come on, I don't care how many M's you up. Competitors and people who love money, players who love money in the NBA are going to do that. So we're going to have celebrity game / 101 on Friday. And then we're going to take, I don't want to take out the skills challenge. I hear a lot of people say that, and I've been back and forth with this in my head, but we just need to revamp it to where people actually want to do it. So maybe add a little bit more shooting in the skills challenge, maybe a half court shot. I think they did it a couple years ago where they ended the skills challenge with like a 3. So they had, of course, it's teams of 2, but they ended it with like, you got to make a 3-point shot. I just think variations of that should be taken out and just revamped. That whole skills challenge needs to be revamped. We need to see a whole nother level with that. If not NBA, scrap it and replace it with something else. I mean, you could add a WNBA component to that. Y'all been trying to add that, like start adding that to the All-Star game. It won't only boost the NBA's ratings, but it will boost the WNBA ratings. So instead of okay, we can do this skills challenge, but with one NBA player and one WNBA player. So you couple together 2 NBA players and WNBA players, but from, let's say if they was from the same city or something like that. Like that would be more interesting. Get my interest, NBA. Please, I hope y'all watching. I hope y'all taking notes. Okay, then we're going to go to the 3-point contest. That's been pretty consistent over the years. Yeah, I'm going to keep that the same. The dunk contest, I'm giving more incentive for that. I'm giving, and it may seem unfair, so we may give out money for each of these events because we need to get these players. Ja Morant said he might do it. Get Anthony Edwards in there, Zion Williams. Like, we need to get stars in this dunk contest. So NBA, Adam Silver, cough up some cheddar. Cough up some chili. Shout out to Brandon Moody. He taught me that. Chili. It's a West Coast slang. Cough up that chili, okay? Cough it up, Adam Silver, please. So each one of these games, 3-point contest, dunk contest, skill contest, y'all get a cash prize. Dunk contest, that's another $1 million one. I ain't gonna lie. Hey, The 3-point contest probably won't be 1 million, but I'll let's do skills challenge 250, a 3-point contest 500,000, and then dunk contest 1 million. Hey, NBA. I don't want to hear about we don't really have the funds y'all have the money to be. Listen, y'all put money in anything that it's like, just like anything, it's an investment. Okay, what you're putting into this All-Star weekend is an investment. So when I say $1 million, I don't say it just to willy-nilly like, oh, I know y'all got it. It's, let's say, even if y'all don't got it to be spending it on the All-Star weekend alone, go get it. Go find it. Go get a sponsor. I know y'all got sponsors. Oh, this is sponsored by Sprite. This is sponsored by Affleck. This is sponsored by Geico. Like, y'all can go get sponsors to get these players some money. Forget charity. Y'all tried charity. Lead that maybe for the regular All-Star game as a whole, if y'all go back to the point system each quarter. But other than that, leave them charities alone. Okay? I'm just saying, if y'all want to keep, I love watching basketball. I love watching the All-Star weekend, but as a fan, it makes me want to turn it off. Like, I used to watch all of the events. This year, I think I only watched, I didn't even watch the dunk contest. I caught the 3-point contest. I kind of turned it off, and then I watched the whole All-Star game, but I didn't watch the celebrity game. I didn't watch the skills challenge, and I didn't watch the dunk contest. I caught the highlights of all of that, which sounds crazy because this is my job to come on this platform and give y'all my opinion, my analysis on these things. But I'm giving y'all my opinion and analysis on feedback from the internet, and also watching the replay of it on YouTube. NBA, you don't want the people to do that. You want the people to do that if they've already watched it and want to rewatch it on YouTube. That's what the YouTube clips is for. Let's say if somebody did miss it just on, like, if they had to do something that night. But if someone is free and is an NBA fan, you want them to watch it live and then be like, that was so good, let me go watch it again. Okay? So please put money into these games this All-Star weekend. Let's go to Sunday, the Rising Stars game. That's started a little bit earlier than the All-Star game. And then the All-Star game happens. I don't want to see no gimmicks. I don't want to see no long commercials, no, like, unless you're doing a tribute, let's make sure we focusing on strictly basketball, strictly showcasing the talent. Now, like certain like, I think 1 year, or I forgot, it was a game where they were testing certain camera angles. I know the NFL did this before, but the NBA also did this before. I forgot when it was, but maybe different camera angles. Maybe I kind of did like the live commentating with Kevin Hart and Chuck and them, but maybe choose somebody else, maybe a Snoop Dogg and Kevin Hart. That would be funny. It just depends on what you want out of your All-Star game. I think different camera angles and floating cameras, like, throughout the game, and close-ups on the players, different angles. I think just a different view, something different but not too different. So it's a way to stick to the basics, NBA, but also do something a little bit different. So stick to the basics as far as your rules and your structure of the All-Star game. But how we watch the All-Star game, maybe you could freak that a little bit. Like I said with the camera angles, like maybe you have a hanging camera at half court and it's getting the upward angle, maybe having a floating camera where, y'all test it out so it can be safe, but something that's swinging, and as the players is going, maybe like a drone type. Maybe you're broadcasting part of the game with a drone just to see, just something different like that, but the structure of it. I think East and West is good. Even though the West has been more dominant, I still like the captains. When it was Team Bron and Team Giannis, whoever the best was in the West or the East, pick captains between the East and the West. I don't know why y'all shifted from that. Y'all, like, come on, man. Just stick to the basics. I really think it's easy to fix this, but I don't know what's going on in Adam Silver's head, really. And I think if another mishap going from the All-Star game, now I'm talking about the NBA as a whole. If there's another mishap as far as like how things are done, how the NBA is looking, I think Adam Silver really, some people need to question, does he need to lose his job? I am one of those people that is questioning that. Like, I think I called for his job. I forgot when it was. I forgot what happened, but I was calling for this man's job like a month ago. And I might call for it again if the product is not what I really want to see. People are talking about bringing forward the 3-point line or pushing it back or something like that. As far as the NBA ratings and where the NBA is going, the fan base is smarter than people would think. Like, and when I say people, I mean administration. I mean sports commentators. Because believe it or not, let me not say that. Because I do believe that most commentators are fans of a team. They just get paid to talk because, you know, they went to school for it. They have experience, journalism, and all of that. But I feel like sometimes when you're in journalism so long, it can skew your opinion on a lot of things, and make you forget, if you were a fan, what that fan experience looks like. So as a fan, we're pretty smart. We can see when the NBA is not looking the same, and it's really not looking the same because this NHL person hit it on the head. So this guy who used to play in the NHL National Hockey League in America, his name is PK Subban. So there's a hockey tournament with the 4 nations. Canada and the United States just played, and Canada won by overtime goal. It was a great game. I was watching it. Man, in the NHL, that's so intense. And I really like seeing those players talk about their sport, because I didn't know a lot of things until I listened to this guy talk. He said they play through injuries. It means something to them. Like, fans know they're getting their money's worth, because let's say if the best player goes down, they're still going to get their money's worth, because the next best player is going to go out and play their butt off. Now, can I say the same thing about the NBA? I don't know, because I don't know how many games are in the NHL, but I know it's 82 in the NBA, and that's a lot. But getting back to this man, he brought up a great point of how when Kobe was the head of the league, this wasn't happening. When Jordan was the head of the league, this wasn't happening. When Magic, Bird, all of them. So going back, because I brought this point up before, the NBA needs a face of the league. And getting back to my point of how the fans are smart, us as fans, I'm not even talking about Lakers fans, I'm talking about basketball, NBA fans. We know that the end is near for that era of Kevin Durant, Stephen Curry, LeBron James Harden, all of them. And we know Bron is still the face of the league, but he's on his way out in the next 2 or 3 years, maybe less. So us as a fan, we know that we're looking for who can take that spot as the best player in the NBA, the face of the NBA. And I talked about it before, and I said it has to be Anthony Edwards, but Anthony Edwards just came out and said, nah, I don't want that. Let Wemby have that. And that really was disheartening for me, because I get what it comes with. I get what the flack and everything and you do have to be built for it. And maybe Ant is not built for it, according to him. That's just what it sounds like. But in my head, I believe he's built for it. I do. I believe in Anthony Edwards. I believe in what he can become. Now, in this present moment, like, it was just some article out about like how he got a 38-year-old woman pregnant and he wanted her to get an abortion, but he was like, get an abortion. She was like, no, I'm gonna keep it. And then, it's just in some of his text messages, it's just the immaturity shows in Anthony Edwards. So do I believe that he's ready to be the face of the NBA right now? Probably not, because he said he don't want to be. I've seen his actions with women off the court. Like, have you ever heard anything about LeBron off the court? Like, have you ever heard anything with Kobe? Like, Kobe with the case, but that was dismissed. I'm not even bringing up that. But Jordan was pretty. Come on, we knew what we was getting with Jordan. We knew what we was getting with Kobe. We knew what we was getting with LeBron. But Anthony Edwards, it's just like, it can be a little bit unpredictable sometimes as far as on and off the court situations. So when you're the face of the league, you ask yourself as an NBA fan, what is the criteria for that? Well, someone who can be a great brand ambassador for the NBA, can talk well about the NBA anywhere he goes, on and off the court, he's exceptional. Just a great representation of what the league is. I believe Ant can get there. But it's disheartening for him to say, nah, give it to Wemby, because y'all know how I feel about foreign players being the face of the league. I don't think it can happen. I've said it plenty of times before. I forgot who said it, Nick Wright or somebody. I heard him say, I'm like, bro, literally just said that. No, maybe it was Stephen A, somebody, but I'm like, bro, they took the words out of my mouth. Like, I don't want to see Luka, face of the NBA. I don't want to see Jokic, Wemby. Like, this is an American league. I get that we're trying to go worldwide. We have games in Mexico. We have games Brazil, wherever. Canada, you feel me? Canada already there, but we trying to, branch out to the world. NBA China, we got our hand over there. But it won't be the same. And I'm just thinking so hard about this, because what would be the negative and positive effects? We know the positive effects, more looks on the league, more money. I mean, it would be super positive for the NBA, but just as far as the culture of basketball, I don't care if it's freaking Chet Holmgren or whatever his name is. As long as he's American, I know this may sound crazy, but as long as he's American, like, this is American league. So your player of your American league, whoever's the face of that, has to be American and has to show up and show out why the United States breeds the best basketball players. Obviously, we seen that in the gold medal game. You feel me? Like, I haven't even watched the show. I think it's on Netflix or HBO Max, one of those, the show Going Gold. But I seen the clips. Had them French in that locker room stressing. Had Jokic and them other I don't know where he's from. Let me not butcher wherever he's from, but a Joker and his teammates was in there going through it. Hey, guard KD. The coach is like, okay, will you guard KD? Who like, you can't double KD because we got Bron and stuff. Like, bro, got them stressing. So we breed great players. We breed the best players in the world, but we have to showcase that, because LeBron James, like I said, he's on his way out. He's the face of the league. I think Ant can do it. If not Ant, I don't really know nobody else. I mean, I want to say Kyrie, but Kyrie is too old. We need a young dude that's coming in and really like shade, but he's from Canada. Like, bruh, what? Where? Like, man, let's go back to the trenches. Let's go in the trenches and get some great players, like really good players. And I don't mean to make this a race thing, but let's go get some niggas, bruh. Some black people because it's a lot of young black players out here that's going unnoticed that are really good. I mean, like, I know, but the NBA is promoting so much international, like, it's just, we just need to promote our own. Okay, we accept Luka. Luka is on my team right now. You feel me? I'm warming up to Luka Doncic. I still miss Anthony Davis, but at the same time, this American League has to have an American face. And I think Anthony Edwards can do it. Anthony Edwards, please change your mind. And I think he's gonna change his mind. I think I don't know if it's in the best interest of the NBA though to have, like, just the way things are looking, like they may have to put a foreign person to be the face of the league. I can't really think of a player right now. I mean, I'm going from team to team. I mean, we got a lot of great young players. I know I talked about the trench babies. You know, I'm talking about the babies that came from the hood, got it out the mud, came from nothing and ready to shock the world. You feel me? But yeah, they may have to put Luka in the front. They may have to put Jokic in the front for a couple years. Cause I mean, we got the Thompson brothers. They looking good. Ace Bailey. I'm just bouncing around of just names that's popping in my head that could potentially be great players one day and be nominated as one of the faces of the league. Ace Bailey, he I think he's at Rutgers, but he has, I mean, I don't even know what he's gonna look like. Who else? I'm trying to think of NBA players, but like Cooper Flag. I think he's from here, right? Hopefully Cooper Flag is from here because maybe he can come and make some noise. But just someone who's going to make the league look good by their play on the court and their lifestyle outside of the court. Like, what are they going to do to help propel this league? Sell seats out the wazoo. I keep hearing stories of Jordan. People was selling tickets outside of the United Center. They would buy the tickets up front and then resell them for an astronomical price. That's how great Jordan was. Kobe was so good. They was booing him at the start of the game, and towards the end of the game, they was like, I can't even be mad. He gamed us. Fade away. Ha. Rest in peace to the Bean. Rest in peace to the Bean, man. But the NBA needs some work. I think the main thing for the ratings, like I just said, find the face of the league to replace LeBron. I think it's in limbo right now, and when you're in limbo, some negative things can happen. So even though I'm kind of calling for Adam Silver's job, I'm gonna give him some grace. I'm gonna give a little bit of grace on this and let him figure it out. But in the next year, I'm gonna give him 2 years max. If he don't figure it out, I'm gonna be calling for his job, for him to be replaced, because something needs to shake. Something needs to happen. It does for the NBA. But just to switch to some entertainment, J. Cole put out a new song, I believe. Let me go. It is called Clouds. So J. Cole put out a song called Clouds, and it was so refreshing to hear J. Cole rap. And I really want to say this. I think what J. Cole did, like in certain careers, whether it's rap, whether it's being a lawyer, any career, you're going to look back towards the end of your career. You're going to look back at your career and you're going to think about, oh, that was a smart decision that I made. Oh, that decision right there, I could have did better, but I learned from that. J. Cole is gonna look back at this in his career and look at that decision he made to step out of the beef. He stood on that stage. He was like, "Yo, K-Dot, my brother Drake, my brother, I don't want no beef. You feel me? I'm taking down the song." That was probably the smartest thing he could have ever did, because we've been hearing so much Drake, Kendrick, Drake, Kendrick, Drake, Kendrick. Oh my gosh. I'm not gonna lie, I've been a little tired of it. I'm a music lover, so I've been listening to both Drake and Kendrick because I can do that. I wasn't on one side or the other. I just really liked how Kendrick went about the beef just a little bit more than Drake. That don't mean like I'm not listening to Drake no more. So when you have so much mess and it's a lot of Kendrick and Drake. J. Cole drops this and it's refreshing. That's what J. Cole allowed himself to be, a refreshing sound to people's ears. Because there's so much going on. But J. Cole drops this song and it reminds you why he's one of the best, top 3, one of the best rappers, not even of this era, one of the best rappers alive. J. Cole is like that. And I knew he'd been like that ever since Forest Hill Drive. That's what, like, I was listening to certain songs before that of J. Cole, but as far as really getting into music, because like I said, I really got into music probably the end of my junior year going into my senior year. So Forest Hill Drive, listen to that whole album, and that really did it for me. One of my favorite albums ever. So I knew after that, this mug is cold. So shout out to J. Cole for putting out new music. I can't wait for the fall off. Now after listening to this song, I want more J. Cole. See, this is what he did for himself. Took himself out the equation and just put his head down and work. Now when the ghost is clear, hey, hot top. Put some music out there for y'all. Hot top. Put some more music. Now you got people wanting J. Cole and his music. And I think that's just it's a good breath of fresh air. It's a good just a breath of fresh air for us as fans, hip hop fans, and just music lovers in general. But I want to switch real quick because this podcast is called the Game Changers Podcast, and I wouldn't be a game changer with just giving y'all a little bit of game now and then. You know, I give y'all a game every time I talk, to be honest. Let me just keep it real. When it comes to these sports and entertainment, I know about it. I know a little bit something. So I'm going to give y'all the game, but I just want to encourage some people, whoever's listening, bro, to just stay patient and be yourself and be resilient through obstacles. And I'm currently learning that in real time right now, bro. Oh my gosh, I don't think I've ever been tested like this ever before in my life. And I really can't say nothing right now because I'm in the situation. But once stuff subside and I get out of the situation, I'll be able to talk about it more. But just to generalize this conversation, resiliency and being able to get through obstacles, yo. I'm not finna get super spiritual, but God has plans for all of us, and he has bigger plans for us than we're in right now. So whatever we're doing right now, he has something bigger for us. But God told me personally, I won't be able to give you that big blessing if you can't handle this small thing. I need to see if you're able to be resilient through this. If you're going to be able to get through this without reacting a certain way. It was moments where I'm ready to spaz, y'all. And I know I'm talking I know I'm talking in riddles, but just stay with me. I'm literally about to spaz. But God is telling me, see, See, that's the situation. What are you going to do? Are you going to succumb to it and let them get you off your path, or are you going to stay on your path? Are you going to use the qualities that I've given you? Patience, kindness, loving, forgiveness, resiliency, like all these attributes that God gave me. He's like, you gonna turn away from that and you gonna get off your path because of this small thing. See, if you react to this, what I'm finna give you, you can't handle that because it's gonna be a lot greater. So I just want to encourage y'all to stay on y'all path, yo. It's gonna be people that's gonna try to get in the way, people that's gonna talk bad about you, people that's gonna do you wrong. When I say wrong, I mean wrong, dog. People gonna do you wrong, but you gotta keep pushing. You gotta you gotta know that it's something at the end of this tunnel, something greater than what you're going through right now, y'all. Listen, y'all are game changers. I'm a game changer. And for us to continue to change the game, we cannot allow non-game changers to get in our way. We cannot allow non-game changers to put us in a place where now we got to dig ourselves out of a hole. We cannot. And I'm learning that literally in real time, like real life. When the older people say, listen, you gonna go through that. Just keep going. Just get some experience under your belt. You ain't lived long enough. When old people tell me that, I'm listening. I'm listening now because now I'm seeing it. I'm like, oh, this is the trials and tribulations that people go through life and learn from. It's just up to you if you gonna learn from it or not. And that's a great criteria for a game changer. Learning from things that seem like obstacles, that are obstacles, but you get over them and learn from them. That's a characteristic of a game changer, y'all. So I just wanted to give y'all that word because it was on my heart. And pray for your boy. I'm gonna keep praying for y'all. Game changers, pray. Game changers, pray. Pray out that, man. Hey, right after this video, go just say a small prayer for yourself, for me, and for your loved ones, man. One of the most important things in this world is to help others because a little bit of inspiration, y'all, just a little bit of inspiration, it can go a long way, man. Mr. Game Changer, I'm signing out.